Hey everyone, I'm getting ready to go for some seed starting this January, February, and March, and I like to start the seeds in the basement, but my basement is a little bit too cold and drafty. And particularly the spot I like is not far from the basement door, and we have a cat door, and so drafts come in. So last year I experimented with putting plastic around my seed starting area, and I was only moderately successful, kind of like any time I do something for the first try. But I practiced last year, managed to really start some good seeds, and actually ended up with many more seed starts than myself or my friends could plant. So it was still good and successful. It was just kind of awkward with the plastic and whatnot. Didn't work so great. This year, I think I've really got a decent setup. Katie and I have been working together trying to clear up the basement a little bit, and she helped me get organized with my gardening stuff. We reformatted the basement, and so now we've got some really good things happening in our basement. It's still a St. Louis basement. It's, wet, so we have to run a dehumidifier, and that's on the outside of my little plastic area because I actually want it a little bit humid here. And I'm already noticing, I don't know if it's because I'm warm myself or it's because of the heat from the lamps and electronics, I'm already noticing it's a little bit warmer inside the plastic than outside the plastic. With the help of some heating pads to germinate a tray or so at a time, I think that this is going to be an ideal place now for starting seeds this spring. And then maybe a couple of months ago, Katie and I were looking for shop lights to add to the basement because it's really dark down here unless I put these lights up. And we were at Costco, and we got their shop light. This one is LED. Last year we got a couple of shop lights to get me started with some grow lamps down here. We purchased 4. That was the most we could really justify last year because they are kind of expensive. And I wanted to get LED, but LED are kind of pricey, and so we went with the good old not compact fluorescent, but the fluorescent tubes, and they worked very nicely. Instead of getting fancy grow lights, we went ahead and just got regular lights, and I can give you a little information about the lumens. And then this year we were able to get a couple LED lights. All right, here's the view of my potting table that we made this year. It's a piece of leftover countertop from last year's kitchen work, and we saw at, I guess it was Lowe's, I think Lowe's, they had wood sawhorses, and so I connected that piece of countertop to the wood sawhorses with some leftover carriage bolts from the pergola build, and that's nice. I've got my Baker Creek heirloom seed catalog, and I'm very internally torn about it, but I'm definitely looking at it for good ideas. Got my seeds ready to be counted. All the things I meant to plant last fall but didn't get to. You can see the plastic up. Now, here are last year's racks made new this year. This time I have a set of lights on the top. So I have 1, 2, 3 racks of grow lights, plus the bottom rack, which is just going to be for clean, empty, clean potting supplies. I don't know if it's visible. There they are. And then over here, these here are shelves that are not really sturdy enough for much, but we certainly don't want to get rid of a nice resource like that unless there's somebody who needs it. So I'm going to use that for clean potting supplies that's not very heavy too. Got a couple of buckets because I'm getting ready to clean my old ones. Got a little electric and water down here, some peat moss. Got a couple of buckets. I'm literally like 2 feet from them. And inside I've got like vermiculite, peat moss, and potting mix. All right, moving back. I'm down where the plumbing drains. I've got a bunch of jugs that I've saved for a project. I've got another set of shelves that has some gardening and chemicals and extra hoses, and then overlapping plastic for the door. So I have one of these timers left over. We've used them in the past for holiday lighting, and they're also very good for setting up 14 or whatever hours of daylight you want for the grow lights. And so I can put this on, and the plant lights will be pretty automatic. What is more difficult to monitor is the temperature. So this year I'm just going to germinate a couple of trays at a time with 2 heating pads that I've collected. All right, so I feel real functional about this space down here. It's actually kind of a more pleasant space than last year, so hopefully it'll be more enjoyable to spend some time down here. All right, I hope you're really excited for the season. I would love to hear what kind of ideas you have getting ready for seed starting. Are you starting some in your window? Do you like to, set up some grow lights, in a closet or in a basement? I'm real excited for the season, so I'm grateful that I could get up and do this stuff and make ready. So if you like what you're seeing and you want to follow us on this journey this year for the 2020 garden, please subscribe to the channel. We'll be giving you updates more frequently, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm wishing you all the best gardening love as you get your season going. Have a great day.